Hi, Peter Charles here of Hooked Fly Fly Fishing, and today we're going to do another Quebec pattern. However, I'm going to modify it to make it more of a steelhead style pattern. We would call it Pogonie. I guess in French it would be Pogonie, and the originator is a fellow by the name of Claude Bédard, and from Quebec. And he's put this fly together, so it looks very much like a bit of a steelhead fly. So let's get going, look at the materials, and get tying it. Now, in the original pattern they show black thread. I'm going to start with chartreuse 8/0. I do that to prevent bleed through and just to keep the body nice and bright. The tag and the rib is gold oval in a small. The tail is crystal flash. The body is chartreuse unifloss. This is where I am making a difference, change I should say. In the pattern it calls for light green. I'm going all with chartreuse. Now you can finish off with black thread for the head, or you can color the chartreuse with a black marker. In the original they also use goat hair. I'm going with black squirrel, and the collar is going to be chartreuse. In the original they had it as yellow. So we're making it more of a chartreuse and black fly, which is a color combination I love. It works for smallmouth, it works for steelhead, it works great. So let's get started. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the same piece of tinsel to do both the tag and the rib. So I'm just going to tie this in. Just get my thread out of the way. Now this is not a big tag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a few wraps there, and then I'm going to fold it back, put one wrap and put this in material keeper. And there, that's all we're going to do for the tag. Okay, now I'm going to take some crystal flash. Just take a small amount. Put a few wraps in, fold it back, keep it on top. Wind back right to the tag, and then trim off. Okay, now we put in our floss. And you notice we've got quite a bump working here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my thread to where the bump ends. I tie in the floss. So I'm going to fill up that space first with one pass, and then I'm going to come back and cover the bump with the floss. This is one way to try and get the bump out of the picture. Just bring it up a little bit on the return, then come back. And we're going to go up on the bump. Make sure you don't move the tail. Come back. So you can see you've got a pretty smooth body going on there. It's not too rough. Now we'll wrap the rib. Now we're going to use the put on the squirrel. Now I'm going to stack it. Okay, we keep the wing fairly short. Reason why I like using this Vivas thread, you can really crank it down, which is good when you are working with squirrel, which is a slippery hair. Now I'm going to finish this off with the chartreuse thread, but then I'm going to replace it with black when I wrap on the color. And the reason why I do that is I want this to continue with chartreuse. So if you have, you start with black thread, you're going to see a black gap back there. So a couple of half hitches just to keep it in place. Now we're going to put on our black thread. And we're going to come in with our color. Now I like to make one wrap before I really work on the pushing the hackle back and folding it, because sometimes the quill breaks, sometimes it slips out. So by working with the one wrap first, you're able to control a little bit better. The number of times I've had quills pull out or break because I didn't do that one wrap first. Let's see if this one will break off. There we go. Whoops. Danger of trying to break it. So we'll just finish this off. whip finish. That's from UV. And you can see how hot this looks with all that fluorescent chartreuse. So on the overcast day, it's really going to glow. So there's the Pogonie, Pogonie, as however you want to pronounce it, done steelhead style with more chartreuse and less green and yellow. And as I say, I also substituted some black squirrel instead of goat. But anyway, there we go. That should work really well on a dull day for steelhead, and it'll probably still work for Atlantic salmon as well. So give it a try. Cheers.